Outlander Season 8 Episode 1 Theory: Is James Fraser really meant to die in the war? Jamie asks sadly, "WB, why did you not tell me that Frank Randall looked like Black Jack?" Claire claims that Frank and his violent ancestor were quite different men and that she hasn't considered the similarities in a long time. Jamie then wants to know if Frank was reliable and honest. "He wouldn't write something that he knew to be false," Claire remarks, obviously unsure of the direction this is taking. Jamie then declares that there will be a Battle of Kings Mountain in the back country, and that James Fraser dies in it. Frank mentions Jamie's name 14 times so far in the novel. Returning to North Carolina, Lizzie just sent Jamie and Claire a beehive as a welcoming present. All of that is forgotten when Bree, Roger, Jem, and Mandy stroll up the road as if they had never left. Jamie explains Claire that bees are the link to the spirit realm, therefore you have to keep them informed of what's going on. There is a lot of crying and hugging as Claire and Jamie are overwhelmed. Recall that they believed they would never see the Mackenzies again after returning to the future. It's really delicious. The children are enormous. After everyone has caught up on everything, Rob Cameron, William discovering his true parentage, etc., Bree retrieves a suitcase she brought back that is filled with books for everyone. Goodnight Moon, for the children, the Merc Manual, for Claire, the Lord of the Rings, for Jamie, and one more, a copy of Frank's last book, Soul of a Rebel, The Scottish Roots of the American Revolution, which was released following his passing. When Claire goes to bed that evening, Jamie is thumbing through it. He hears Frank's voice in his head when he sees the author portrait. Side note, I really enjoyed the voiceover by Tobias Menzies. How William's cousin Ben died in service. William discovers that his cousin Benjamin died in rebel captivity. Season 8 of Outlander also follows William Ransom, Charles Vandervaart, who has a challenging period in Season 7. In addition to learning that Jamie is his biological father, he failed to save Jane Pocock, who killed herself after being detained for the murder of Captain Harkness. All of this was made worse by the defection of Captain Ezekiel Richardson. William is determined to track down Richardson and bring him to justice for betraying the British Army and joining the rebels, according to the Season 8 opener. But his search has proven unsuccessful, and the endeavor has nearly destroyed William. When Lord John Grey, David Barry, tells him that his cousin Benjamin passed away from illness while in rebel captivity, his mental state worsens even further. William learns that Ben left behind a woman and child that nobody was aware of, adding to the shock of this revelation. William is throwing up into a pretty vase, which is very charming. Even though he's vomiting for a cause, we find out that he had pints with soldiers to obtain information about that deceitful Captain Richardson. Lord John's caustic remarks to his son suggest that William has been drinking a lot and moping since we last saw him. On top of that, John regrettably has to break the news that Ben, William's cousin, passed away while serving in the British Army. Soon later, Amaranthus, Ben's widow, and her little son Trevor arrived at the house. However, nobody knew that Ben had gotten married. Nevertheless, the young woman and the infant reside at the home with Lord John, who has acknowledged her as his nephew's widow. Unaware that Amaranthus is nearby, William remarks that this is absurd. Later on, he finds her, apologizes, and says he will do everything in his power to support her and Trevor.